We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, along with Ricky Vitalico and Ben Davis. I'm Michael Barkan. If I told you the Phillies bats staked ace Zach Wheeler to a 2-0 lead, you'd say forget about it. They sweep the Yankees, and they've won 5 out of 6 games. But that's not what happens today as the Phillies go down 4-3 in the Bronx. Ricky Bo, we've got to analyze what is going on with Zach Wheeler. As Tom and John said moments ago, this is the 3rd straight outing where he has looked way less than sharp.
It's an interesting story because the one thing that it seems as though he would take pride in is being able to make adjustments. And you've heard me talk about this a lot, that he's able to make adjustments in game per inning to inning. And I saw some pitches today that I was absolutely I was out of my mind on. I mean, he was throwing pitches into the left-handed batter's box. A lot of his breaking balls, a lot of his sweepers, he was pulling over that way. That's one of 2 things. Either his mechanics or he just couldn't get a good grip on the baseball. I'll be interested to hear what he has to say about that. But the other thing is, the one thing you think about Zach Wheeler is being able to hit the strike zone all the way around it and hit the corners and stay on the outside and then climb the ladder above the zone. That we didn't see today. What we did see is a bad Yankee team swinging at pitches all over the place. Because if you really think about it, Zach Wheeler threw 103 pitches. I would say 65% of them were not in the strike zone. And he ended up with 19 swings and misses.
Yeah. Let's take a look at our Eye on the Mound, presented by PGW, Energy for all of us. Ben, 5-pitch first inning for Zach Wheeler. And you thought, okay, this is going to go the way we think it's going to go. And then he had trouble finding the strike zone. 3 hit batters, which is a career high.
It almost looked like he was overthrowing. And that's something we never see Zach Wheeler do, is overthrow. But if you're missing glove side a lot, I just think you're overthrowing. And that was a clear case today for Zach Wheeler. How about his last 2 starts against the Yankees? Listen to these numbers. 10 2/3, 11 earned runs, 12 hits, 3 home runs, 3 hit batter, 5 walks, 11 earned runs. I already said that. 14 Ks.
That's a very pitchable lineup.
Yeah.
Which to me is odd because Zach Wheeler knows how to expand the strike zone, which he did a lot today. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, if he was able to get ahead of the hitters with a fastball, I think that would have made his life a lot easier today.
They just didn't seem to have a whole lot of finish on that fastball today, and that's something we are never, ever accustomed to seeing with Zach Wheeler. And you talk about the start that he had on Monday against the Red Sox, and we said, well, he didn't have his best stuff. Well, he still struck out 10 with 0 walks. And to see him with 2 walks today and 3 hit batters, he just didn't have it today. You see him tap JT right there. Hey, sorry, man, I didn't have my A stuff. And that's something, again, we're not accustomed to seeing, but I look for him to right the ship.
And by his reactions on the mound, you would think that he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Like he couldn't figure it out.
Which leads you to believe it's a technique thing as opposed to...
Probably something to do with mechanics.
Nothing injury.
Maybe landing.
Like
could have been his landing, too, because we saw Tanner Banks come in and really dig the living dirt out of that thing.
Yeah, he did. He
thought I was going elsewhere.
But not anything that had to do with injury or dead arm or anything. It's which is a rarity for him that he can't figure out what's going on. And now he's won being able to pitch like this. Certainly he didn't win against the Yankees last year, July 29th, in a 14-run outburst. He didn't give up 14, but
his numbers don't look that bad in the sense that when you look, if you were watching the game, you would have noticed he was in a lot of bad counts, a lot of 2-0 counts, some 3-1 counts. And what did the Yankees do? They just started swinging the bats. It really didn't make a lot of sense to me. When you're watching a pitcher out there struggle to throw strikes and throw the ball feet outside instead of inches, I think you wouldn't be swinging at this many pitches.
Here's the Yankees' second inning, and as we mentioned, a 5-pitch first inning for Wheeler, and you're thinking this is going to be a piece of cake, especially no Aaron Judge today.
He's got to catch that ball.
Doesn't he?
Yes.
Ben, what the heck? Was that just a poor route to the ball? What happened there?
I don't know if he didn't see it off the bat, but it's definitely a ball that we've seen Johan Rojas catch in the past. And these are the things.
It's Jazz Chisholm.
Glove side in this fashion, it's down in. It's almost like he starts going sideways and he starts yanking everything, leaves this ball out over the plate here to McMahon. It rifles it down the line, able to tie it up at 2.
Yeah, and so with the bases loaded and the score tied, then you start to get a little nervous and asking yourself what the heck's going on. Gets an out here, and they try to get the runner coming from third. By the way, Schwarber not too bad in left field today. And well, he had that one catch was kind of fun, but he made the catch. So there it is, 3-2. The Yankees with the lead, and then another one gets through the right side on a splitter. And
not a lot going right for him. I mean, maybe, that ball is another foot to the left. It's an out. I thought Rojas should have caught the ball, so maybe he probably could have been out of that inning with maybe one run. But, I mean, when you're not getting help defensively, there's nothing you could do about it. When you're not making your pitches, I don't think that helps the situation.
And let's face it, you can't be perfect every time out. No. Yes, we're accustomed to seeing it with Zach Wheeler. You most expect him to go out and throw a no-hitter every time, especially after that 5-pitch first inning. You're thinking, okay, we could be onto something here. But it's just, you can't be perfect every time. There are few and far between are those outings. But again, he just looked like in his mind, you see when Topper came out to get him, like, man, I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know where it's going. And you feel for a guy like that, but still able to go 5 2/3. But I don't like the pitch count there at 103 pitches.
Zach Wheeler making his 21st start of the season today, and 5 2/3. As Ben said, this is only the 4th time this season that he has failed to go at least 6 innings in a ball game. We'll take a break. We come back. We will hear from Rob Thompson and hopefully Zach Wheeler on what befell him on the mound as the Phillies lose the finale in the Bronx 4-3.